Angry words, oh, let them never from the tongue unbridled slip. Let the heart's best impulse ever touch them ere they soil the lips. Love one another, thus saith the Savior. Children, obey the Father's blessed command. Love one another, thus saith the Savior. Children, obey the blessed command. Well, good Friday to you. Hope that you've had a good week this week so far, and that it's a good end of the week for you. Hope you've been blessed this week in some way. It's good to be with you. Have you ever been taken really off guard by somebody's behavior, and maybe they behaved in a way that's far different than what you expected from that person, or when this happened, how did you respond? How did you feel? Did you walk in love, and did you forgive that person for what they did? Did you hold on to it or hold a grudge? We've all had this happen, and we've all probably done it to other people and behaved in a way that they didn't expect from us as well. But we've been in those situations where people maybe behaved a little bit differently than what we expected, and maybe we're a little bit offensive. But if we really think about it, I think a lot of times people who act offensively don't necessarily do it on purpose. Some people do, but I think there's a lot of people that sometimes they don't do it on purpose. They just inadvertently kind of act in a way that kind of gives a wrong impression to people. Often people who have done something offensive or hurtful to others aren't even really aware that how they're being perceived by others, or that they've been hurtful or come across that way. And maybe you've been in that situation. I think we all have at different times where our actions were perceived a little bit differently than how we meant them to be perceived, or how we meant for them to be taken. Have you ever been misunderstood? Has anyone ever called your motives into question in something that you did, or a situation you were in, or were you shocked maybe to hear what others thought about you, especially when you knew your intentions were right and they were just simply misunderstood or perceived in the wrong way? If we all look at that, we've all been in that situation. It's happened. You may have meant one thing, but everyone seemed to perceive something else totally different from what you intended. And so when you learned that others may have misunderstood you, don't you wish that they would believe the best about you, rather than to rush to judgment and condemn you for something that you never even intended to project? Boy, I've been in those situations. I sure wish they would see what the good in me, or the intentions behind what I did or said, instead of what they perceived. And so when we look at that particular situation, just like we want others to believe the best about us, we also need to reverse that and reverse the grace that we want to receive, and give that grace to others and believe the best about others, even when they come across offensive to us. We'll never go wrong by extending mercy to people. In fact, according to the law of sowing and reaping, you reap what you sow. If you give mercy to others, you're almost guaranteed to reap mercy from others when you need it the most. And so, before we, our flesh part of us becomes stirred up and gets upset the next time that somebody offends us, we need to remember this principle, remember this thought a little bit. The chances are really good that we've done the very same thing to other people that this person is doing to us. And so we need to speak to our emotions whenever we're tempted to get offended or to get all stirred up. We need to remind ourselves of the many times that we've been loved, that we've been forgiven, and we've been freely accepted in spite of something that we've done. In Romans chapter 15, verse 7, Paul gives us a good rule of thumb, a helpful word to assist us in our endeavor to walk in harmony and peace with other people. He said, "Accept one another, then, just as Christ accepted you, in order to bring praise to God." I mean, isn't this how Jesus received you and I? Didn't he take you and I just as we were at the time that we came to him, at the time we gave our life to him? I mean, didn't he take us with all our attitude problems and our defects and our inconsistencies and our blemishes? He did, and he loved us anyway. And according to the word that's used there for accept, when he says, accept one another just as Christ accepted you, um, essentially means that we're to accept or to receive each other with wide open arms, just as Jesus accepted us and received us with wide open arms when we came to him. And so in order for us to obey this command that Paul writes here, we'll have to do a lot of forgiving. We'll have to do a lot of kind of overlooking in this life, and giving people sort of the benefit of the doubt that maybe they weren't meaning to be offensive, and it just came across that way. And so I think we would do well if we would all work at not concentrating so much on the faults and the flaws of other people, and really start concentrating on how to be more forgiving and how to show more mercy to people. Because after all, if we give mercy, we'll be shown mercy. And so we need to accept others just as Christ accepted us, and take that route of mercy. And when we do that, we'll never be sorry. We'll never be sorry that we showed mercy to other people. Hope this blesses your day. I hope this gives you a challenge, but I hope it also encourages you as well. Let's show mercy to people. Let's be forgiving. Let's give people the benefit of the doubt, because I really think most people really have good intentions and really have good hearts, even though they may come across in a way that's a little bit offensive sometimes. I want to be forgiven, and so I sure want to make sure that I focus better at forgiving other people. It sure would make a world a better place if we focused more on forgiving than we did on judging. Hope you have a great weekend this weekend. Look forward to seeing you on Sunday at worship, and I hope that you have a blessed day.